Hello, world, and hello, amazing Philippines. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all. At the outset, I would like to thank, of course, Professor Raymond Valenzuela for inviting me to speak. And of course, I'm really glad to meet you all here. Okay, my talk is about, of course, the teacher and the school curriculum, and of course, outcome-based education. And it is said that understanding, of course, the teacher and the school curriculum involves grasping several key aspects. One of these is, of course, the teacher qualifications and pedagogical practice, or practices rather. And according to research of Goldhaber and Brewer, okay, teacher effectiveness is, of course, a significant factor influencing student achievement. The second one is, of course, curriculum design and implementation. This involves considering, of course, factors such as curriculum alignment, coherence, and instructional strategies. The third is that assessment and evaluation practices. Okay, according to research conducted by Black and William, this emphasizes the importance of formative assessment, feedback, and authentic assessment tasks. Okay, the fourth is differentiation and individualized instruction. As of course, teachers and um, mentors, we need to differentiate our instructions in order to, of course, address students' learning styles, the abilities, and interests. The fifth is parental engagement and communication. Okay, take note, effective communication between teachers and parents foster a collaborative partnership in supporting student learning. And lastly, continuous improvement and curriculum evaluation. According to Staplebeam et al. In 2017, utilizing research-based evaluation methods can help schools enhance curriculum quality and student learning outcomes. And we have, of course, the significant lessons on the teacher and the school curriculum. The first is teacher-student relationship impacts learning. Take note, according to Rorda et al. In 2011, research shows that positive teacher-student relationships contribute to academic success, emotional well-being, and of course, classroom engagement. The second one is curriculum alignment with standard is crucial. And of course, we cannot just have our assessment, supposing if we do not consider, of course, our objectives. So there should be, of course, alignment with the curriculum. And according to Darling Hammond et al., misalignment can lead to gaps in learning. And the third is, of course, differentiated instruction that supports diverse learners. So as teachers, we need to cater different, of course, needs of students which are diverse. And of course, this approach acknowledges that students learn different ways and different paces. The fourth is assessment should inform instruction. Take note, formative assessment, of course, that provides feedback, which is ongoing, okay, to teachers and students is essential for guiding instruction and improving learning outcomes. And the fifth is parental involvement enhances student achievements. Okay, effective communications between schools and families is the key towards, of course, students' achievement, according to Henderson and Muck in 2002. And number six is continuous curriculum evaluation leads to improvement. Take note, the context, input, process, product provides the framework for comprehensive curriculum evaluation. So we need to deal with this. Okay, there are 10 outstanding characteristics of teachers that can, of course, impact school curriculum. The first is we should have, of course, mastery of the content knowledge. The second is we need to have, of course, pedagogical skill. The third is differentiated abilities. We have, of course, collaborative disposition, adaptability, and flexibility. Number six is reflective practice. We have also student-centered approach. Then we have cultural competence. And number nine is technology integration skills. And lastly, of course, commitment to continuous professional growth. Okay, let's have, of course, these outstanding characteristics to teachers. Okay, that can, of course, impact school curriculum. In what way? By, of course, shaping instructional practices, curriculum design, and student learning experiences. Okay, let's go with, of course, the outcome-based education or the OBE. Okay, it focuses more on okay, the specific learning outcomes or competencies that students are expected to demonstrate by the end of the course or program. And we have 10 significant features of outcome-based education. The first is we need to have, of course, clear and measurable learning outcomes. Okay, we focus more on the SMART, which is, of course, the acronym for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, of course, outcomes. And the second is alignment curriculum and instructions with outcomes. Okay, from, of course, we started with our curriculum, then we follow with, of course, our methods. Okay, and then, of course, on how we are going to assess. And of course, here comes the learning outcomes. So there should be alignment of these with our, of course, objectives. The third is the focus on demonstrated competencies. Take note, no, with the OBE, the focus is the shift now, there is the shift of focus from inputs to, of course, outputs. And it emphasizes students' ability to demonstrate specific competencies or skills. The number four is student-centered learning. Okay, so this may involve, of course, project-based learning, the problem-solving tasks, and the real-world application. The fifth is, of course, authentic assessment methods. Okay, and when we say, of course, authentic assessment, these are the tasks that we can have, like performance assessment, portfolio simulations, or project making. Okay, that's, of course, authentic by nature. Then number six is continuous improvement and feedback. So there should be ongoing feedback and assessment. Okay, so take note, feedback helps students identify areas for improvement and supports their growth. And number seven is transparency and accountability. Okay, in having of these, of course, we have the results, which are efficient, economical, effective, ethical, and of course, equitable. So this fosters accountability for student learning according to Mager in 1997. Number eight is that there is integration of lifelong learning skills. So when we say, of course, lifelong, okay, it could be, of course, the transferable skills such as the critical thinking, problem solving, communication, and of course, collaboration. And take note, we never stop learning. Then number nine is flexibility and personalization. It allows us, of course, OBE allows us to become flexible. Okay, and of course, we personalize learning according to, of course, the students' diversity, okay, interest, and of course, learning style. Then lastly, okay, stakeholders' involvement and collaboration. There should be, of course, collaboration between or among educators, the employers, stakeholders, and even the administrators. So by then, we define, of course, learning outcomes, design curriculum, and of course, assess student achievement. And to sum up, outcome-based education has had significant impacts on students, teachers, and curriculum. And here are some significant impacts for students. Number one is enhanced learning outcomes. Then the second is it increased engagement. Then we have, of course, very good preparation for workforce. And lastly, it improved accountability. For teachers, there is increased focus on learning outcomes. Then it enhanced assessment practices. Then we have, of course, collaborative teaching. And lastly, professional growth. Okay, for curriculum, there is, of course, alignment with the standards that we have, the focus on essential skills. When we say essential, necessary skills, then we have, of course, integration of assessment. And lastly, continuous evaluation and improvement. So these, of course, impacts highlight the transformative effects of outcome-based education on, number one, student learning. The second is teaching practices, and of course, curriculum design. Okay, here are our references for today's talk. Okay, thank you so much for listening. Terima kasih. Madamo nga salamat. God bless.